Okay, let's see the examples. Just before that, for solving the questions for 1, one more definition can be used. Alright. Function, suppose it is from, is said to be 1, 1. If I take two elements in first set, alright, if some x1 and x2 belongs to first set, if for implies that if f of x1 is equals to f of x2, that means अगर दो elements की images are same and we come to the conclusion that the elements are also same, then also the function is said to be 1, 1. In proving the questions, we will use this definition. A function f is said to be 1, 1 if first set में अगर दो elements हैं x2, x1 and x2. Alright, and second set में what will be the element? F of x1 and f of x2, because उसकी images है. Function will be like this होगी ना, f of y is equals to f of x. तो अगर x1 पुट करेंगे तो f of x1 is the image, x2 पुट करेंगे तो f of x2. If the images are equal and it implies that the function, the elements are also equal, then we say the function is 1, 1. That means अगर images हम equal लेकर चलते हैं और उससे function आपस में elements भी equal आ जाए, इसका मतलब है जब images equal है elements भी equal है. इसका मतलब अगर images different है तो elements भी different होंगे, तभी वो 1, 1 होगा. Is it clear? If images are equal and the elements also come to be equal, that means if the elements are same, then only the images are same. If the elements are different, the images are different. So that means the function is 1, 1. So we can use this definition to solve the questions. Look at the question first. It says A is a set of 30 students of a class and f is a function which maps from a to n. Which maps from a to n. And fx is a function defined by roll number of the student. It says check, it is 1, 1 but not on 2. 1, 1 but not on 2. Now look at this. Just a theory question. There are 30 students. Now a 30 student have to be like, suppose, yes, if I talk about suppose combined section of science and commerce, maths students are 30. When I assign your roll number 1 is, suppose roll number 1 is Sarvidhi. Alright. And roll number 2 is say Utkarsha. Roll number 3 is Janvi. Roll number 4 is Kanishka. Roll number 5 is Sehaj. So that means when I talk about the one roll number, one natural number, one roll number would be assigned to one child. Is it clear? One roll number would be assigned to one child. One child, one roll number. This is A, this is B. These are the 30 children of the class. Fine. Say Janvi is the first roll number, Utkarsha is the second roll number, Vidhi is the third roll number. So Janvi has given one roll number 1. Utkarsha has been given roll number 2. Vidhi has been given roll number 3. Is it clear? Alright. So each child will be assigned a separate roll number up to 30 because there are 30 children in the class. Is it clear? So that means when one arrow goes to 1, the function is 1. Now we talk about onto. When a function is onto, when there is nothing left in the second set, that means every element of second set has a pre-image in first set. But natural numbers are infinite. Up to 30 the roll numbers has been assigned to the children. What about 31 to infinity? So there are 31 to infinity numbers left in this. And so on. So that means for 31, 32 up to infinity there is no pre-image. So that means this function is onto, but sorry 1, 1 but not onto. Clear to everyone? This is how we check 1, 1 and onto. Every child has got a one roll number, so it is 1, 1. But every second element of second set is not being covered by the elements of first set. So this is not an onto function. That means it is an into function. Clear? Come to the second one. This is a function is from natural number to natural number defined as f of x is equals to 2x. This is check. It is 1, 1 but not onto. Clear? 1, 1 but not onto. Alright. Now when I talk about such kind of questions, we will do by this definition. For 1, 1, I'll take two elements in the first set. I'll assume their images to be equal. If elements also comes to be equal, then it is 1 1. If elements do not comes to be equal, they are not 1 1. Clear? So I'll assume let for 1 1 I'm checking x1 and x2 belongs to first set, that is a natural number only, such that put the value of f of x1. What is f of x1? 2x1. What is f of x2? 2x2. 2 and 2 cancel. So x1 is equals to x2. So this way I have got, therefore the function is 1 1. Clear? The function is 1 1. When I have to prove not onto, so I can prove it by example. Not cases can be proven by example. You just have to think one example जिसके लिए वो onto नहीं. अब मुझे onto नहीं prove करना, तो इसका मतलब मुझे ये सोच के चलना है कि सेकंड सेट में कोई ऐसा एलिमेंट है जिसकी यहाँ पर प्री इमेज अवेलेबल नहीं है. onto का मतलब होता है एवरी एलिमेंट ऑफ द सेकंड सेट हैज अ प्री इमेज इन फर्स्ट सेट. अब मुझे onto नहीं प्रूव करना है, इसका मतलब मुझे ये प्रूव करना है कि सेकंड सेट में कोई एलिमेंट ऐसा है जिसकी प्री इमेज वहां नहीं है. I'll assume let सेकंड सेट का एलिमेंट 1 ले लेते हैं. अब ये देखते हैं फर्स्ट सेट, अगर ये किसी की प्री इमेज है तो कोई 2x1 इज इक्वल टू 1 होगा. अगर ये किसी की प्री इमेज से ये किसी की इमेज है तो इसका मतलब किसी एक x का आंसर ये आया होगा. तो x1 क्या आ गया? मतलब आई एम अज्यूमिंग दिस. Function is f of x is equals to 2x. That means if I talk about this, it is y is equals to 2x. It means x is equals to y by 2. y by 2. तो हर एक y की कोई भी वैल्यू पुट करो, उसके लिए एक x अवेलेबल होना चाहिए. अगर मैंने x की वैल्यू पुट y की वैल्यू पुट कर दी 1, तो x कितना आ गया? 1 by 2, and which is not a natural number. Which is not a natural number, and 1 by 2 does not belong to the first set. That means अगर मैं odd numbers पिक कर लूँ, 3 पिक करूँ, तो 3 की यहाँ पर प्री इमेज क्या होनी चाहिए? y by 2. प्री इमेज बेटा onto के लिए हमेशा तुम लोगों ने क्या करना है? You assume a function is equals to y. Find x in terms of y. अब y की सेकंड सेट से कोई भी वैल्यूज पुट करके देखो, जो x आ रहा है अगर वो फर्स्ट सेट में अवेलेबल है तो वो onto फंक्शन है, अगर अवेलेबल नहीं है तो वो into. इट्स लाइक onto अगर अवेलेबल है onto फंक्शन है, अगर अवेलेबल नहीं है तो onto फंक्शन नहीं. अगेन assume the function is equals to y. Find x in terms of y. अगर उस y की कोई भी वैल्यू सेकंड सेट से पिक करते जाओ, उसके लिए अगर x जो आया है वो अगर फर्स्ट सेट में अवेलेबल है, so that means it is onto function, otherwise it is not onto. Now 1 by 2 does not belongs to first set, so it is not onto. Clear? Now similarly same kind is the third question, but there the relation is given to be from R to R. The relation is given to be from R to R. Is it clear for 1 1? I'll do the same thing. Let x1 and x2 belongs to first set such that put the values. So therefore it is 1 1. Clear? For onto, what did I say? What do we need to do for onto? Let the function be equals to x. Find x in terms of y. अब सेकंड सेट में y की कोई भी वैल्यू पुट करो. पुट द वैल्यू ऑफ, और एक और तरीका है लिखने का. ये x आ गया ना? क्लियर? पुट द वैल्यू ऑफ x in the function. There are two ways. Either second set there are so many real numbers. A second set में से कोई भी एलिमेंट पिक कर लिया. Suppose if I put x is equals to 1 by 2, it belongs to the first set. So that means हर एक y के लिए वहां पर एक x अवेलेबल है. Otherwise in general how do we do it? ये x की वैल्यू फंक्शन में पुट करो. f of x is equals to y. That means हर एक y के लिए there is one x available. हर एक y के लिए there is one x available. So that means it is onto function. This is onto function. onto के लिए क्या check करना है कि हर एक element second set के लिए there is a one pre-image available. So assume the function is equals to y. Alright, find x in terms of y. X की value function में put करो. अगर if it comes equals to y, then we say it is onto function. Otherwise, it is not onto function. See, girls, little you have to practice because otherwise you will get confused. When we will do more questions, it will be more clear to you all. Look at the next question. F is from natural number to natural number such that f of 1 and f of 2 have value 1 and f of x is equals to x minus 1 for all the values x greater than 2 because 2 तक की value तो दे रखी है 1 और 2 की. It is onto but not 1 1. It is onto but not 1 1. अब 1 1 का if I just try to make a diagram, so on. F of 1, that means 1 का answer is also 1, 2 का answer is also 2. If I put in the function 1, I am getting answer 1. For 2 also it is given to be 1. So this is not an onto function. Sorry, not an 1 1 function. Clear? Now I need to prove it is onto function. It is onto function. So what do I do for onto? Let that function equals to y. Find x in terms of y. Put the value of x in the function. If it comes equals to y, then it is a onto function. Very easy. Therefore, it is onto function. Clear to everyone? इसका मतलब है हर एक y के लिए एक pre-image is available in the function which is in the form of y plus 1. Is it clear? For every y there is one pre-image available. See, when you have to prove नहीं है ऐसा, that you can prove by example. Is it clear? When you have to prove, yes, prove that this is so you have to prove it like this with unknown numbers. Now look at the next question. F is from R to R. F of x is equals to x square. Neither 1 1 nor onto. Neither 1 1 nor onto. For 1 1 I need to prove कि दो elements same image share करते हैं. बहुत आसान है. Because neither nor we can do by example. If I put x is equals to minus 1. So, not a 1 1 function. Is it clear? Alright. For onto, what do we do for onto function? I assume I find x in terms of y. I find terms of x and y. Now, y is from second set. Y is from second set. So, y belongs to real number. If I take y as, say, minus 3. If I take y as minus 3, what it has become? It has become a complex number. It has become a complex number. That means for y is equals to minus 3, there is no real number in the first set. Because the first set के अंदर x है. X is not a complex number. X is a real number. So that means it is not an onto function. Not an onto function. I hope it's clear to everyone. One element, different images. Onto, for every element of the second set, there is a one image available in the second set. First set, sorry. When you have to prove neither nor, you can do it by examples also. There is no problem at all. Let's see the next example. F is a function from n to n. That means natural numbers to natural numbers given by f of x is x plus 1 if x is odd. F of x is defined as x minus 1 when x is even. Is both 1 1 and onto. Is both 1 1 and onto. Let's check for 1 1 first of all. And now see, there can be different cases because x for odd function it is different, for even function it is different. So I'll assume both the things. First of all, two elements belonging to the first set. This is how we start 1 1. Case 1. x1 and x2 are even numbers. I'll do with the case start with x1 and x2 both are even numbers. Alright, if x1 and x2 both are even number. If both are even number, that means f of x1 will be x1 minus 1 and f of x2 will be x2 minus 1. Clear? How do we prove 1, 1 and on 2? We assume that such that put the values. That means when both are even, in that case x1, when I assume f of x1 is equals to f of x2, x1 is equals to x2 is coming. So it means in this case it is 1, 1. Clear? Let's pick up the second case. Case 2. This was case 1. Let's pick up case 2. If x1 and x2 are odd numbers such that I am directly assuming that f of x1 is equals to f of x2. अब odd है, odd वाला ये केस है, तो f of x1 क्या आ जाएगा? f of x2 here only value would be put because both are odd. So when f of x1 is equals to f of x2, it implies that x1 is equals to x2. Therefore, in this case also it is 1, 1. Clear? Let's start with case 3. x1 is even and x2 is odd. x1 is even and x2 is odd. Then what will be f of x1? For even function, f of x1. And what will be x2? Because x2 is odd, so I'll pick up this function. Now, even and odd number cannot be equal. Is it clear? So definitely there, if I talk about images, even and odd number cannot be equal. So in this case, I'll start like this. Because even and odd are not equal, so x1 is not equals to x2. x1, now that definition which I wrote here on with the side, that f of x1 is equals to f of x2. If x1 is also equals to x2, then it is 1, 1. अब उल्टा चल रहे हैं. अगर x1 x2 आपस में equal नहीं है और उनकी images भी आपस में equal ना आए, that means that is also 1, 1. Clear? एक तो rule ये रहा, images को equal लेके function elements को equal prove करो. That means same images तभी होंगी जब function same होंगे. अगर मैं बोलूँ अगर elements different हैं और उनकी images भी different आ जाएं, तो that means that is also 1, 1. यही तो definition है. Different elements have different images. All right. So what is f of x1? I can minus, alright, f of x1, put the value here. F of, I just assume that x1 is not equals to x2. x1 is not equals to x2. Clear? So, x1 minus 1 is not equals to x2 plus 1. So it implies that when the elements are not equal, their images are also not equal. When the elements are not equal, their images are not equal. That is also a condition of 1, 1. See, I'll just tell you how it has come. See to it. If x is even and x2 is odd, I said even and odd function cannot be equal. Is it clear? Alright, if x1 is even, when I say x1 minus 1, तो even में से कुछ minus करेंगे तो ये क्या बन जाएगा? Odd. x2 odd, तो odd में कुछ add करेंगे तो 1 add करेंगे तो क्या बन जाएगा? Even. If I subtract 1 from even function, it becomes odd. This is odd. And even x2 was odd. Odd में कुछ 1 add करेंगे तो even. अब ये even था, ये odd था. Both are not equal. This number is odd, this number is even. So these two will also not be equal. So therefore f of x1 is not equals to f of x2. So it is 1, 1 function. Again I'll explain fourth part, that the thing will be clear more. Fourth part would be if x1 is odd and x2 is even, then it will be clear. Now see to it. and f of x1 will be what? Odd function. So it will be x1 plus 1 and x1 plus 1. x1 odd था, अगर x1 में 1 ऐड कर दिया जाए तो ये क्या बन गया? Even number. x2. What is f of x2? It is even, so it will be x2 minus 1. So it is odd. Clear? Now we know that x1 is even, x2 is odd, and even and odd number cannot be equal. अगर ये even और odd number equal नहीं है तो ये even और odd number भी equal नहीं हो सकते हैं. ये किसके equal है? This is f of x1 that is equals to f of x2. That means if x1 and x2 are not equal, their images are also not equal. So it is 1-1 function. It is 1-1 function. I hope it's clear to everyone. All right. For 1-1 function, both this is very important question. So you have to take all 4 cases and discuss. So 2 definitions we have got. One is like I assume the image to be equal, the elements come equal. I assume the elements not to be equal, the images come not to be equal. Then the function is said to be 1-1. Is it clear? Now coming to onto function. What do? We assume the element from the second set. Is it clear? We assume the element from the second set. Let there be some x in the second set. Alright, be an arbitrary element from the second set. Now again this will have 2 cases. X be an odd number. If x is an odd number, that means if x is an odd number, uske with respect to, if suppose if you want to take it as y, I'll just do it by y. Alright, odd number के लिए अगर second set का odd number है, there will be why we are doing in x y right, it becomes a little easier, you know. एक second set के odd number के लिए यहाँ पर कौन सा element exist करेगा? Even number. Even number. If x is odd, then there exists an even number. X plus 1 belongs to n. Is it clear? If x is odd, if x, y be odd, then there exists y plus 1 an even number in n. हर एक इवन नंबर के लिए एक ऑड नंबर, ऐसे ही हो रहा है ना, ऑड है तो x प्लस 1 से इवन आता है, इवन है तो x माइनस 1 से ऑड आता है. सो हर एक ऑड नंबर के लिए देयर विल बी वन इवन नंबर एग्जिस्टिंग इन n. इज इट क्लियर? सच दैट व्हाट डू वी डू? I told you, put in the function. Even वाला function कौन सा है? Put the value. Why? Is it clear? For every odd function, there exists y plus 1 an even function. Then even वाले function में put करो उसको. So it has come is equals to y. Similarly, case 2, let y be an even number, then there exists, अगर even number है तो उसके लिए कौन सा x minus 1 exist करेगा? Odd number, then there exists y minus 1 odd number such that y, this I need to put. अब odd number के लिए function क्या है? f of x is equals to x plus 1. अब x की जगह पर क्या put करेंगे? y minus 1, put it here. So that means for every y, there exists y minus 1 in the first set. अगर इसको x की form में रखते हैं, for every x there exists x minus 1. In every y, fine, which is an odd number, there exists y plus 1 an even number in the first set. Is it clear to everyone? Alright, so that means you have to practice the questions very carefully. So then only you will be able to solve such kind of questions, otherwise you will get confused. This last thing you need to remember these notes. If set A is a finite set and a function is defined from A to A. If function is 1, 1, it must be onto. If it is onto, it must be 1, 1. For example, suppose I have A is 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So if it is 1, 1, that means one element, one has image 2, 2 has image 3, 3 has image 1. So definitely if it is 1, 1, it is going to be onto, and vice versa. And vice versa. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If it is 1, 1, so that means different element has different images. So that means it is 1, 1 as well as onto. If it is onto, that means no element left, so it has to be 1, 1 also. And only applicable for finite set. If a set is finite set, if it is 1, 1, it must be onto. If it is onto, it must be 1, 1. And number of functions from set A. Number of functions, if elements of A are n, it will be n factorial. Number of functions which are 1, 1 as well as onto are n factorial. So children, all these things you need to practice. So next we will be starting with composition of functions.